Hello Stampers and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you a really fun card. It's a Funfold and this is what it looks like. And it does like to pop up, so I put a little closed paper clip on it. But this is what it looks like inside. It's a lot of fun to make this card and I want to show you how to do it. I also made this one for my stamp club, and then I decided I wanted more realistic looking acorns, so I switched it up today to do the acorns and pecan pie because I really like them. So let me show you how to do this card. First of all, you're going to need a perfect square. I tried to make this card a typical size, but it has to be square, so you can't do that. So here are the dimensions here, 6 3/8 by 6 3/8. On this particular cutters, that's right to this line. Here is 6 3/8. By 6 3/8. Then the next thing you want to do, let's close the wing here, and I want to score it at 2 1/8 on two sides. So there's 2 1/8. The scoring is the light gray one. So 2 1/8 by 2 1/8. And then this gets a little bit tricky. I want to try to show you. Move my stamp pads back there. There we go. All right, so this cutter has like an indentation right here. This is the Stampin' Up cutter, and what you want to do is, oops, go this way. We want this center to be in the center of the tray, and so if you put the tip here at 3 inches, and then you line up this square, this line, and this line on the same line, then it'll get it right in the center of that point. So there we go. The tip goes to 3 inches, and then you want to line up this line with this line with this line. So look, I don't know how well you can see that, but there it is. All right, so well, we'll bring this back in a little bit later. So now to make this card, first of all, we're going to take the bone folder. Let me, whoopsie, sorry about that. I'm going to zoom back out a little. And we're going to fold it this way. And you really have to have a bone folder for this card. So these two go in, then this diagonal is going to go the other way out like this. All right, so now it will close like that. All right, so now I went ahead and cut all the pieces for this card. This white square is 4 by 4 inches. These squares are using the stylish shapes. We're using the biggest square and then 2 in. So the biggest square and 2 in. All right, so we cut one of the biggest square. I did that in the pecan pie, and then 5 of these squares in white. We're going to stamp on them. I have an extra in case I make a mistake. And then I have this little square in Designer Series paper that I cut out of the back of the Splendid Autumn Designer Series paper, which it was really hard for me to cut this because it's so gorgeous. But I did because I really wanted this paper. It looked perfect with my card. So, all right, and this is, like I think I already said, it's a 4 by 4 square. So great. We're going to start with a 4 by 4 square, and I'm going to put not mushrooms, acorns down at the bottom. And I'm going to do that in pecan pie. So acorns at the bottom. And I'm kind of going different ways, and I think I'll do one sideways. There we go. There's that one. So that's done. That'll go on the inside. There. In fact, I think I'm going to glue it as I go just to kind of get rid of it. Be easier. So I think my glue is about dead. It is. I'm just going to get a new one. I was hoping to get a little more out of that one, but it's done. Oh my gosh. All right, let's try this one. I probably need to take a pen to that new one because it looks like it's kind of clogged. But I'm going to put it upside down for a while and see if I can get it to start flowing. All right, so glue on this one. We're going to put it right there. All right, so there we go. That one's out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and do these little yellow squares too while I'm thinking about it. I liked how they were yellow, but they had just a little bit of brown in them. Oh, I'm having glue issues today. I've got to get that other one working because otherwise I'm out of glue. I'm down to my last little bit. I guess I have other things I have snail that I could use. I can see it here somewhere. All right. So there, that goes there. And then the next thing we're going to do is a square that goes up here, and on that I put 3 acorns. I'm sorry, I did 3 mushrooms, and I did them in gray granite. I did a whole sheet. I was trying to figure out what colors went together. So this is my sample sheet. Like I just stamped all over it and decided what colors I like together. It took me a little while, I'm not going to lie, but I'm happy with how it all turned out now. So gray granite. I'm just going to move the pecan pie because I feel like I have, yeah, I do need to do one more. That's what I thought. All right, this I'm going to do one. Now what am I, see, that's why I did an extra one because I'm not happy with that. Let's see if I can go over it, but I probably can't. Nope. All right. All right, I only have one extra, so I don't have any more extras. I can't mess up anymore. So one, sometimes these distinctive ones, you have to just kind of stamp them on another piece of paper to make sure that the ink is really in there well. And I didn't do that, even though I know I should have. So, yeah. And I can't remember if I showed the stamp set or not, but this is what it looks like, and I really, really like it. All right, so then I stamped Thankful for You, and I used early espresso for that one so that it would pop a little. So Thankful for You. And I like how those colors mixed in. And just if you were wondering, early espresso, this is what an early espresso mushroom looks like, and it almost looks black. I thought it was too dark. That's why I went with gray granite. So I'm not going to need this one again. I think I'll close. I don't think I need the gray granite again either, so I will close it. All right, and then I used crushed curry. Let me get my little scratch thing here. And I use these little hash things. Okay, that looks good. I just stamped it off on this little scrap paper that I have over here. All right, so that one is done. And it's going to go up here. Let's just put it up there. Okay, that looks really good. And then next I'm going to do my leaf ones. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do the inside one, which has acorns on it. So that way I can put away my pecan pie. So 1 and 2. And notice I'm rotating the acorn so it's not all going the same direction. I did 3, and I also did the hash marks on that one. So notice I'm not re-inking. I just tapped off twice because I wanted a little bit in the center there. So that one is done, and it can go up here. I think I want it to go like that. So you can make this particular card any size. It just has to be square. And then you would take half of the width of the square, and that's how far you would score the side. So that's the math on this particular card. Right, and so I kind of like how these kind of tie together. That's why I did that. All right, now I'm going to do the leaves. I can close the pecan pie because I am done with it. And I'm going to do Cajun Craze. I'm going to do the big leaf in Cajun Craze, which my Cajun Craze pad is a little bit dry. So I do really need to test it before I go to town. I tried to find my re-inker, but I could not find it. So I really need to clean up my mess down here. All right, so we are ready to rock and roll. So there's that big one. And I did a smaller one in peach pie. I'm done with Cajun. Get rid of it. I tried Timid Tiger as well, but it was too bright for these particular colors. So I went with peach pie. I liked how it looked. And on this one, just going to test it and make sure it's good. Looks like it is. All right. And it's supposed to look like that, all kind of different color shading. It's a distinctive stamp is what it's called. And then I took my yellow. Actually, I used yellow again, but I used this hash thing now for that. So let me close the peach pie so I don't mix my colors, because I am pretty good about that. And we'll do the hash thing. So I know if you notice, I'm just stamping once, and then I'm just not re-inking on purpose because I kind of wanted it to look a little bit different. So there it is. I mean, I wanted the color variation is what I'm trying to say. Not very successfully. All right, let me move this so I don't get ink on that. And we're going to put this one up here and Yeah, I kind of like that. That one down there. I could have stamped it all and then glued it, but I don't know why I felt like gluing it as I go. So that's what I did. And like I said, I really did fiddle around with this card till I got the colors the way I liked them. So it took me a little while to get it how I wanted it, but I'm happy with how it turned out. All right, and now I'm just have these inside ones. This one I did with this hash thing again, but I did pecan pie. So let me clean my stamp real fast. Gonna push that aside because I'm pretty sure I'm going to use that again. Just want to make sure I got all the ink off of that. Yeah, okay. Let me clean it again. Oh my word. All right, let me get out. It's not getting clean. It actually looks like pecan pie, which is the color I'm going to use. It's not really the end of the world. It's not totally clean. I got out a baby wipe. I need to clean up my cleaning pad because it's saturated right now. All right, so we are going to stamp this with pecan pie. And it'll lighten up a little bit as it dries. This is actually tone on tone, but for some reason, this particular stamp makes the color look darker. I don't really know why, but it does. All right, so there's that one. I'm going to set it aside because we have to cut it. And then wipe this off. I'm going to do one more square. That one I'm just kind of going rogue. I'm going to do a totally different color. I'm going to pull in Blackberry Bliss with these little berries. Okay. Oh, not quite done. Now I need to wipe that off. This is just old grid paper they used to have that I laminated, and it's kind of nice. And I'm going to use a crushed curry again with the hash marks, which I believe that's, yeah, still crushed curry. So, but I think what I want to do is stamp off on this. So I'm going to stamp once there and then stamp it on. Because I don't want it to be too strong. All right, good. So we are almost done. So this is a wild card. It's a little bit more effort, but it's definitely worth it. I'm going to pull back in my cutting board, which who knows what I did with it. Oh, it's on my chair. Good thing I'm not sitting down. That would hurt. All right, so now we want to cut these on the diagonal. So to do that, like I said, this has a track. We're just going to put the corners in the track. Now you don't want to take your cutting blade and go like this way because it'll tear the corners. So what you want to do is put your cutting blade in the middle there or partially in. Then you can cut down and cut up and you won't destroy your corners. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I've got it in the tray or the track. going to get partially on, down and up. Perfect. This will all come together, I promise you. So let's pull our card back, and I think it worked better if I started with the corner first and then worked my way in. So I really like that Blackberry Bliss with the pecan pie. I think it's a really pretty contrast. And the yellow, I think, is really turned out nice. And the good thing about using the glue is that you can kind of wiggle that paper around and get it positioned just right. Whereas if you used snail, it's not quite as forgiving. So when I want to really position something, I always use my Tombow. But honestly, I almost always use Tombow anyway. I really like it. So there's that. And I fiddled with DSP for this big square. I tried a bunch of them. I just liked it better just stamping tone on tone with the hash marks. You'd really just have to have the perfect DSP for it to look good. And it was just too, it stuck out too much, whereas this kind of ties it all together, I think. And we are almost done with this card. It's definitely a work of art. You definitely want to give this to someone who's going to appreciate it. And the inside is so pretty, I think. And the other thing too, when you write on it, you're going to have to probably just write up here, or else or I'll show down here, but you could write a sweet little something there, a Bible verse or something. Anyways, there it is. And here, where's the other one? This is the one, like I said, that I did for my stamp club, which was done in Cajun Craze, which is also pretty, but I kind of liked this one better. So anyway, please like my video, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, and have an awesome day.